Hello, everybody. My name is Angie, your host for today's Coffee Tea Chat. And this is a special Coffee Tea Chat because it is the ATC CTF 2.0 version. And we have here amazing ATC CTF engineering member with us today. Hakeem, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, Hakeem. Nice to meet everyone, and glad everybody's joining us for this CTF.
Awesome. Thank you for the intro. And also, one moment, share this real quick. Nope, present. I also want to thank our sponsor, Taylor D Solutions LLC, and I'm gonna put it back on Hakeem so he could talk more about our sponsor for the prizes.
All right. Yep. So with Taylor Solution, we're a cybersecurity company. So we wanted to again sponsor this amazing CTF. So there's going to be 3 groups of prizes. So for first place, this can be for individual or team. Team is max at 3 people for this prize. So you'll get your choice of either a Hack 5 Wi-Fi Pineapple pager or a CompTIA cert voucher. Okay. Second place would be a Raspberry Pi 5 kit. And third place would be YubiKey and Hack the Box subscription.
Wow.
So, and then for second and third place, there's probably going to be also be a surprise in your package. And I know last year we had both U.S. and international people that took part in this competition. So if you are international and your team wins first place, you are only going to be eligible for CompTIA cert. Unfortunately, I cannot ship any of these tools out internationally. So you'll either be getting a CompTIA cert voucher if you're first place. If you're second or third place, it'll be Hack the Box subscriptions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Really appreciate that we're doing this twice. So yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor for the prizes. And I also want to give a shout out to our amazing ATC CTF engineering team. You guys don't know, we have worked on this CTF since last year, like literally late, I want to say early autumn, around September 2025 up to now. So we've been going to a lot of meetings, online, offline, trying to figure out how to make the challenges because we understand that we really liked how you guys enjoyed the challenges from last year. So there's going to be some new challenges. Maybe you might see some old ones. We'll see. But I really appreciate our team because it's really hard doing this alone. So I appreciate having everybody there. So for those who are not here in the call with us, we're shouting you out in spirit. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And now I want to also talk about what it is today, the CTF 2.0. So it's not happening right now. It's going to happen 2 weeks, January 30th to January 31st. And it's going to start 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know on CTF time, it says UTC says 1400 or 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is not true. It's going to start 2 p.m. So that's like UTC 1900. Just wanted to give a disclaimer out there. So when you go to the site, ATC CTF wintervibes.com, you'll see this page here, and it will show the socials and our sponsor. And then you can just register by pressing the register button. And then afterwards, you'll be able to log in, and then you'll be able to also register for a team. So I definitely recommend folks to be in a team and say team-based CTF. And again, thank you for everybody for joining thus far too. And we also have rules as well. We have an eligibility requirement due to US compliance since this is a US-based CTF. And it also deals with the prizes too. Okay, so now I shared what our page looks like. I want to get to the next slide. So I'm going to give my definition. There's so many definitions of what a CTF is, or a capture the flag competition. In my opinion, it is known as a cybersecurity competition, and this can vary depending on what kind of cybersecurity competition you're in. But for ours, it's going to be mostly a offensive security competition. So you can have different categories in there, like reverse engineering, web exploitation, forensics, miscellaneous, etc. We'll get into those categories in a moment. And you can do this either solo as a CTF player or in a team-based one. In our situation, it's going to be a team-based one. And then you will go through what we call challenge questions. And you're looking for an answer, which is essentially a string of text or a flag. So in our situation, it's going to be like the CTF name and then underscore and then a string of text. So that's what it is in a nutshell. Hakeem, if you want to give a different definition of what you think a CTF is, you're welcome to chime in on that. No? Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure I was clear on that.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yep. That's what a CTF is. I was asked that a few weeks ago. And I was like, okay, let me just say this for the video. All right. Now let's talk about different common CTF categories. I can't go through all of them, so we'll just go through, I think, a few. So I'm going to pass this over to Hakeem for the first one.
All right, cryptography. Yep. All right. Again, just going to give you a basic definition, right? What is it? It's pretty much the practice of like securing information, right? Through encoding and decoding techniques. So think of like old school Cold War, right? With Russia and US, they will always like decode messages and things like that. Same concept. One of the biggest ones is the Caesar cipher, right? That a lot of people use to help decode messages. So that's what cryptography is, right? It's a way to encode and decode messages.
Yeah, I agree. It's very straightforward. But there are definitely different types of cryptography challenges that you will encounter. And folks, I forgot to say this earlier, don't forget to use your resources like Google and an AI tool like ChatGPT. You're welcome to learn more about that. So yeah, thank you, Hakeem, for explaining a high-level overview what cryptography is for the CTF. So the next one is going to be reverse engineering. So think converting. It's going to be in more readable format, and you're going to uncover more problems. So what do I mean by that? Like, let's say you have, I don't know, like a Java program, and it's all encrypted. It's usually compiled. And then you need to change it back into readable format. It's human readable format, because you're trying to figure out how the program works. So you might need to tweak a few things and use a few tools such as like assembler tool like IDA, or I'm just going to say it as GNU. I know I hear people say sometimes as GNU, but GNU debugger tool. There's so many different ways you can reverse engineer the tool. And I've seen some where there'll be like a whole Python program and then you got to put it back together. So it's really fun. This is one of, I think, the more advanced categories, because it involves, compiled code. It can be bytecode and different things like that. So that's reverse engineering. Okay, this is a really fun one, OSINT. I'm going to pass this on to Hakeem again.
Yeah, this is honestly my favorite. And I would say I call this like a universal skill set. So this will help you in your entire career, no matter what path you go down. So OSINT is open source intelligence, right? What it is kind of you gathering information, whether you're using social media, domain records, different open source websites. So the goal with OSINT is you don't have to pay for anything to find information out. So typically on a CTF, you would have where like you might get a picture, and that picture might have hidden data, right? So you would use some type of OSINT tool or website to help decode that. So an example, a popular one is whois lookup. So like you need to look up a IP address or things like that, Whois is a good open source tool to use. So yeah, that's pretty much OSINT in a nutshell.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, OSINT's really fun. I think that's one of my most favorite categories of the other ones. They're all great, don't get me wrong, but OSINT is fun, and you will definitely, like Hakeem said, use this in your career at one point in cybersecurity, or if you're trying to enter into cybersecurity, this is a really good skill to have in your toolkit. All right, so this is a really, 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 really popular, highly requested category of categories, and that is web. I just say it as web. Some folks will say web exploitation. So essentially, you're going to be looking for vulnerabilities or bugs, and this can be in many different languages. You can have Go, you can have scripting languages, you can have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, etc. And the idea is to look for, the vulnerabilities. You're going to be using different exploitation methods, and there's many. I'm not going to list them all today, but if you Google it, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'll give one example of how you can look for a flag in a web exploitation challenge. So you can look at the source code, for example. That's one way. There's many different ways. There's so many different tools that you can use. I've seen folks use like Burp Suite, so many different ones out there. Again, Google is your friend, as well as ChatGPT. And you're pretty much looking at requests and other things just to find the string of text, which is the flag. In that situation, that's it for the web category. I don't want to talk about that one forever, but there's so many different ways how you can get a flag in there. Okay, so this one's forensics, and I'm going to pass this one on to Hakeem.
All right, thank you. Also my favorite, a lot of experience in this. So forensics, right? Might call it digital forensic, network forensics, wherever you have it. Really what it is you're analyzing data, or I should say digital artifacts, right? To uncover hidden or deleted information. So in the CTF form, right, you might have challenges that's going to ask you to, hey, recover deleted files, right? Or examine a memory dump, or, hey, analyze this network packet capture, right? So that is what you'll be looking into from a CTF aspect for forensics. So an example would be, let's say we say, hey, you got to go find this hidden file within an image. So sometimes you might use a tool called binwalk, right? As an example, that could potentially help you find things like that. So there you have it. That's forensics.
Yep, and that's really good too. And I've also seen some where you can look at like networking concepts. So for those who are like studying for their Net Plus, E Plus, Security Plus, it's pretty good to look at how forensics works. I know there's a lot of opportunities in forensics too. So look at your forensics tools, like Hakeem said. Like Wireshark helps as well if you're looking for something within Wireshark. You never know what you're going to find. So that was it for forensics. Great job explaining that one. And this one is my favorite of them all. I know I kept saying favorites, but miscellaneous, because this is the most ambiguous topic of topics. So it's essentially the combination of other CTF categories and much more. So what do I mean by that? Like last year, we had a few miscellaneous categories, such as one where you had to first use your cryptography skills, and then you had to look at some web challenge with that, web tools you had to use with that. And then you needed to decrypt, encrypt, maybe do a little bit of reverse engineering, maybe looking up some random thing with AI just to get the flag. So you're going to have to work a little bit harder in this category, but it's worth it. And I've seen some crazy ones where calculus was involved or algebra was involved. Like you had to find the slope of something and then you got the flag. or there was like some drawing challenges involved where you need to draw and put things back together, because at the end of the day, CTF challenges are essentially cybersecurity puzzles. So yeah, those are really fun. Hakeem, have you ever encountered a miscellaneous category where it just, you never forgot about it to this day, like, wow, they really did that?
Yeah, and I actually didn't do well in that competition.
Oh.
Yeah, it's probably like 7, 8 years ago. It was actually kind of formatted the way this one is. But a lot of the miscellaneous was like random. Some of it was like pop culture things, and I didn't do well. But it was it's almost like trivia in a way. So yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Oh my gosh. Yes, when I said, there's something that's like, why? Yeah, there is going to be some random ones, but I don't think we're going to be that mean with the challenges. But definitely be prepared to put the other categories together to figure out these challenges, and don't be afraid to Google things. Knowing how to Google things is a really, really, really good skill to have in cybersecurity, because if you know how to research, you'll be able to fly. You'll be able to solve challenges or problems, real world problems better. So I definitely recommend doing this CTF. And that is it for the CTF categories. And I definitely wanted to talk about another thing too that I've noticed between not just the CTF, but other CTFs that I've judged for and I've participated in as well. And that is time management. And Hakeem, you can also chime in on this as well. So for time management, I just want to say this first. You have 24 hours to do this CTF. A full 24 hours. So let's say, I know some folks have like full-time jobs and a lot of different things going on the weekends, because it's going to start on a Friday afternoon. But you have 24 hours, so definitely put your health first. Like, make sure you eat your meals, get enough rest. I feel like that was a big one. I think somebody mentioned to me last year, like, I stayed up almost 24 hours, and it was just to make sure they were in a certain percentage in the CTF. I'm like, you're going to have time. This is a really relaxed and chill CTF. So please, please, please get your rest and take breaks, because these challenges are designed to be, a challenge. It's going to require sometimes to just go outside and take a walk and get some sun, or just to like make sure you're in the right headspace for it, because sometimes the challenges can be it can make you feel a little stuck sometimes. Hakeem, would you like to chime in this part too?
Yeah, I would say, these are going to range from easy to hard questions, right? Well, I've noticed a lot of times is people spend most of their time on the hard questions first, because they figure, oh, I'll come back to the easy stuff, right? That's probably going to be simple. I'll come back to that. And oftentimes they never get back to it, because they spend so much time on the hard question. So my advice from a time management aspect, especially when you look into like what you have to do in your regular life, you might not be able to spend that whole 24 hours, right? So as a team, you guys should really like, hey, you take the first 6 hours or whatever hours, right? You take the next one, and then work on these, you work on the easy ones, or you work on the medium. So try to think about that as a team wise, and utilize your whole team time better. That would make you a bit more efficient and help you guys also complete things faster, but then as a group be able to work on these same questions that is hard to answer, right? Where it actually will take a team effort to do. So that's my little piece of advice.
Yeah, that's really good advice. I agree 1000%. I was also going to mention teamwork. So great minds think alike there. Yeah, I think that's really good, because you don't have to suffer in this CTF alone. It's not actually meant to suffer. It's just to help you, level up. I noticed there was a lot of folks that came up to me back in the day. They were like, I'm looking for experience. I'm like, hey, this is the CTF that my team and I have created, and this is all volunteer work, by the way. So again, that's why I was always wanted to just thank our engineering team, because we worked weekends trying to get this together. So we know what time management is in terms of like from the player's perspective as well. You know, we all have 24 hours to get things done, and you don't need to, like I said, feel overwhelmed. This is I want to say beginner to intermediate, maybe a little bit advanced depending on the question and the category. So don't feel like you are alone, and you can definitely ask also the admins for help if you really need it. We have a ticketing channel in Discord. So again, this is a Discord CTF. I want to disclaim that. I know it's on CTF time, but you're going to need to have a Discord account to play, because there's going to be certain things that you're going to need in terms of the Discord CTF. So yeah, ask us questions. Sanity checks are fine, but don't try to social engineer us. We know how that works.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, definitely ask questions too. We're there for a reason, right? It's not just for us to make the challenges. We're also there to help. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would add, like, we're not going to give you the answers, right? Because people tried that last year, right? We're not going to give you the answers. And we're not going to rewrite a question for you either. So, you know, use all your resources. Again, we're letting you use AI. So, I mean, that should be a big advantage for you guys. So, yeah. So don't try to get the answers for us. Don't try to social engineer us to rewrite the questions for you. We're not doing any of that. So, you know, there's a lot of things we had come across us last year. So I just want to get that out of the way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like, we know how it works, guys. We're in cyber. We know how it works. But that was all I had for that part. I also realized this is our 2nd anniversary of the ATC YouTube as well. So definitely want to give a shout out to every presenter we've had since, I want to say 2023 or 2024, 2022, around that time. Because that's why this channel was born. It was to help bring people from our field in, whether they were enthusiasts or working in the field or about to be in the field, to demonstrate, you know, and share the community their knowledge about cybersecurity. So we have more than 10 episodes. It says 10 episodes, but I'm over here editing and also uploading more videos. And if you want to see the latest videos, they're actually in our Discord channel. I think it's the announcements channel, so definitely check that out. And if you haven't already, please join our Discord. It will be in the comment box below, as well as the ATC CTF 2.0 site. So you have 2 ways of checking the ATC Discord community podcast. And it's called a coffee tea chat because I want it to be a very chill session, and I love coffee. I love tea. And today I have a coffee with me. With a shot of collagen, for those who are wondering, in a glass cup for the first time. Hakeem, I don't know if you had a coffee or a tea with you or water.
So it's snowing where I'm at, so I'm actually drinking hot chocolate.
Oh, nice. You got the hot cocoa. Yeah, I did say that in, I think, LinkedIn or other places on social media. I'm like, bring your hot cocoa with you because it's chilly. It's also winter themed CTF, so I want to keep that in mind. Yeah, we've also had Hakeem's video in here too about OSINT. If you want to learn about OSINT or social engineering, yeah, we have a lot of different videos up here. Stop sharing on that part. And I think that was it I had for today. But thank you again, everybody. And thank you again, Hakeem, and to our sponsor, JLD Solutions, as well as our Discord community. Like, you guys are the reason why we are doing this again. So thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful day, and talk to you soon. Ciao for now.
See you later.